Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's Preston, and we're doing Chapter 5. And sorry it's been so long since I've been on the net and haven't done this in a while, so welcome to Chapter 5. I gone through some major traumatic incidents, but we're not here to talk about my ear. I have a bad ear. Like my t-shirt, college, the best 7 years of my life. A friend of mine, Marty, gave that to me, I think because he knows I had more than 7, maybe. But irregardless, thank you everyone for listening, and I've gotten some emails saying that, send me more chapters, so I'm going to do more chapters. I've been wondering what stories to tell you and to share with you. I'm not going to definitely go back and repeat myself, but I'm going to be a little bit more direct and to the point and not bounce back and forth from topic to topic. What I'd like to tell you now is a quick story of how my friend John and I, in our aviator brown leather jackets with the brown fur collars, were mistaken for Hell's Angels. It's crazy. After my divorce, some of you may not know that I was married at one point, but after my divorce in Santa Barbara, I left town, and my friend John Desmond left with me, and we went to explore where we were going to relocate to from Southern California, and we definitely wanted Northern California, but we weren't sure, so we took an amazing adventure. Incidentally, my friend Jack, brother Jack, and I'll be telling you stories, he's entitled the Mundo Bizarros. Those are experiences that happen in life that either occur when you're under the influence of some kind of mind-altering drug, or they come out of Hollywood. They're crazy scenarios that are really happening in life, and Jack says they're called Mundo Bizarros. So here's a baby Mundo Bizarro. John Desmond and I are traveling through Northern California, and we're going into Oregon, and it's cold and raining and windy, and we go shopping into this grocery store. We both have leather jackets on, like I said. The cashier, little lady, says, "Are the Hells Angels in town?" And John and I were kind of puzzled, and we look at each other, smile, and she goes, she's looking, she says, "Well," and I go, "No, ma'am, to our knowledge, the Hells Angels aren't in town." And I says, "We're not Hells Angels," and I turn around and show her the back of our jackets that don't say anything, and I says, "We're in the Volkswagen van that's outside. We don't drive motorcycles, and usually in this weather you need helmet and leathers and protective gear, and you got to be crazy to drive." It was almost bad storm, bad Northern California, Oregon storm. So we did our shopping and we left, and we looked at each other, and me is a Hell's Angel, right? All 5'4", 6'8" of me that weighs 300 pounds, right? That's a joke. John and I were Hell's Angels. That was kind of funny experience, because I don't know what made the elderly lady at the cash register think we were bikers. Don't know, but that was a funny experience. We wound up going up through Oregon, and we didn't go into Washington at that point, but we finally settled in Northern California in a city called Redding, which is approximately 3 hours north of Sacramento. And it was great, because at that period of time, Redding had a population of 35,000, and the Balma regime, John Balma, may he rest in peace, was in charge of the county. He was the county sheriff for over 30 years, and his brothers owned the cemeteries and the crematoriums, and Mr. Balma owned all the whorehouses and casinos and all the gambling joints, and it was great. It was a wonderful, wonderful experience, beautiful town. We settled there. We were able to camp out in Lake Redding Park, and we pitched a tent, and we cooked our dinner, and it was unbelievable, right next to the Sacramento River. There was a payphone there, and I called Memorial Hospital at the time, and I said, "I'm a certified orthopedic technician. This is before I became a registered nurse, and I said, I'm looking for work. And they said, well, can you start tomorrow? And I go, no, I'm camped out in the park. I said, all my stuff's in Santa Barbara. So I was hired over the phone, sight unseen, just because I was an orthotech, state certified, mind you, but still an orthotech, and they were hurting so bad that they wanted me to start. And I said, well, they said, how long can how long will it take? And I said, give me 2 weeks. I'll be back in 2 weeks. I go, can you make it 1 week? I go, no, it's 2 weeks. I got to clean up my bread and butter and move out of Santa Barbara properly. I can't just leave stuff and run. But I was hired over the phone. It was totally amazing. I said, do you want to see me before I leave town to go back to Santa Barbara to move back to Redding? They go, no, we don't need to see you. We need your body, we need your work, we need your experience and knowledge. And I said, far out. So that's how I went from Santa Barbara, California from 1972 to 1976. And in 1976, John and I moved up to Redding, California. Approximately, roughly 12 hours north of Santa Barbara. Some people say it's less, but it really isn't. Depends on which way you go. But 11 or 12 hours doesn't matter. It's a long ride. But that's one of the little things that I had thought about while I was sick last week, and I had never been thought of and even be considered as a biker, let alone a Hell's Angel. So that was a little incident that was funny. Also, on that same trip, I forgot to tell you, and I will tell you now, is that John and I are on this little mountain overlooking the forks of the Salmon River in Northern California. The Salmon River's in California too. Different river, different Salmon River. Anyway, we're overlooking the Salmon River, and we're on this one lane, half a lane logging road where if two cars are coming in the opposite directions, there's going to be a problem. We're driving along in John's van, and we stop because the scenery is breathtaking. And we look down the cliff, and it's like a 1,000-foot drop. Unbelievable. And we stop, and we get back in the van. We turn around the corner, and we pull into our left. There's a little area to pull into, and there's a log cabin there. And on the door is a brass plaque. Erected in 18-something by Mr. Samuel Clements. Okay? So that was far out. That was a nice experience. We didn't know it was there. It wasn't on the map. But it was beautiful. And it wasn't a very big one. It wasn't a very big log cabin. But from what I understand from the park rangers, once we found the park rangers in that area, said that he did a lot of writing in that one little cabin for a couple winters. So, and it must have been hellacious because there was wood heat. He must have been chopping wood 8 months out of the year, because when it was bad there, it was really bad in the wintertime. So I'm going to keep this short. So Toodle Mundo Bizarros, I saw Mr. Samuel Clements' little log cabin that he built up above the forks of the Salmon River. Was accused of being a Hell's Angel with John. And that was the trip after my divorce, and that's how I got to Northern California. And I'm going to keep it short now. So end of chapter 5. And chapter 6 will start in California, in Redding, and that's where I went to school and did my nursing school and did all kinds of other wonderful, great things, and still have wonderful friends there. I'll close, sign off, and say, bless y'all, have a good one, take care, and hopefully I'll be able to get chapter 6 out a little bit sooner. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.